This is tradition.
When people have prejudices and they've got bigotry, and the people that aren't supposed to get along start getting along and respecting each other, it's a threat to everything. And a lot of times we'd rather hold on to something that we know is unhealthy than to do the work of facing the unknown and creating something new.
Yeah.
A true, selfless act always sparks another.
Doing good for selfish motives is still doing good.
Intentions only matter so much.
Our suffering is alleviated by bringing joy to other people.
Yes.
And when we can't bring joy, at least bringing compassion and empathy and belonging. This place was an icy hell. And the only thing that changed was his perspective and that he started to practice more kindness in his day-to-day life. That's it. And it changed everything.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. My name's Alan Seawright. I'm a professional filmmaker who needs therapy.
I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies and Christmas.
Who loves Christmas movies. Ho, ho, ho.
Hey! I've got my candy cane popcorn. It is peppermint and white chocolate.
This looks like it's Christmas flavored.
Is that Christmassy? What is that?
It's actually watermelon,
Really?
but it looks very Christmassy, but it tastes like summertime, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
And you can get it in our store. Look, it's us, Internet Dance
Aw,
Popcorn.
with our little faces.
Yummy.
What are we doing today?
We're going to talk about Klaus.
I love this movie.
This one kind of flew under the radar for me. I wasn't super aware of it until we got many requests to talk about it. And boy, am I glad we did.
Instant classic, I would dare say.
I mean, I would put Klaus on the same level, I think, as Elf and It's a Wonderful Life. It's that good.
Just a notch below Ernest Saves Christmas.
Just barely, though.
Ho, 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 Vern. Merry.
All right, let's do this.
Darn, oh darn.
Stay right where
Strong
you are.
Cusco energy.
Dad, you're
So
right.
it-
When will I grow up? When will I stop squandering all these opportunities, which you so kindly forced me into, and become my own man? I guess
It feels so much like The Emperor's New Groove. What Christmas?
All wrapped up in my silk sheets with some caviar and a sherry. You still buy the same brand, right?
You think I'm just going to watch you purposely fail and then let you waltz right back to a privileged life void of any purpose or meaning?
Well, yeah. Where else would I?
Congratulations. You are now a postman.
Come again?
You are to establish a working postal office in...
I love this tracking shot.
It's so great.
Just how far away he's going.
Smearensburg.
That's some strong parenting.
I mean, it's a choice.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We were talking about this earlier. That if you spare people the consequences of their actions, it's actually not love or mercy. It's enabling.
Spare the rod.
The only time, as far as I'm concerned, to show that level of mercy and letting people out of it is if you could tell there's been a genuine, sincere change.
Sure, yeah.
Because at that point, the lesson's been learned.
Right.
He hasn't learned anything.
He's learned nothing.
Yeah.
You still buy the same brand of sherry, right? Like, I mean, this kid.
Just the use of light is so cool in this scene. I mean, I watched this, and it's a beautiful film to watch and look at.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's super, super top quality. This movie is 100% hand animated. Did you know that? All the character work.
Really?
Because you would never guess, because you look at it and the lighting is beautiful and it looks lit and CG. They invented a whole bunch of new technology so that they could hand animate characters, feed it through a computer, and the computer would use machine learning to light them. Because you see, like when the dad is walking towards him, there's a little bit of transparency in the ears, like they look glowy because they're backlit. And then, of course, the artist can come in and tweak everything.
No way.
But it's all hand drawn.
Hats off.
Yeah, great, great work.
Hey, buddy. Hello. We're talking about movies. You need to cry for engagement. It's your job.
I'm sorry, I just got totally absorbed in this letter from FDR to Winston Churchill. Listen to this. Stalin hates the guts of all your top people. He thinks he likes me better, and I hope he will continue to do so. He's trolling Stalin. Also, this episode is sponsored by Historic Mail.
Historic Mail is a thoughtful gift for anyone who appreciates history and the lost art of letter writing. It also makes a great gift for people who are stuck all the way out in Smearensburg.
Smearensburg. It was started by a group of history enthusiasts who relished the idea of getting letters from historical figures like this one from...
Walt Disney to Richard Nixon in 1956.
Weird, right?
Every week, a stamped envelope is delivered to your doorstep containing the reproduction of a letter penned by a famous historical figure, along with a supporting document providing historical context and a typed version of the letter.
You get to learn about the fascinating inner lives from the greatest historical figures from the primary source themselves. I love history for the stories, and this is a new story and character showing up in your mailbox every week.
The American History Gift Pack covers letters from 1776 with the founding of the Republic all the way to 1976 with the Cold War at its height.
Featuring letters from presidents such as George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Franklin D. Roosevelt, as well as other great historical figures who influenced American life like Walt Disney, Nikola Tesla, Mark Twain.
It really is an amazing gift for the history lover or someone who needs to deliver thousands of pieces of mail for some reason. Historic Mail offers 10 weekly letters for only $59.99.
There are also letter packs for 25 letters and a yearly pack of 52 for more in-depth explorations through various periods of history.
This holiday season, surprise your loved ones with this timeless gift. Enjoy 10% off on all of their products with their Christmas sale. Go to historicmail.com/cinematherapy to get your gifts now and help support this channel.
Jackie Kennedy.
Where are the boys? Don't let them get away. Come on, get them.
Okay, I've done all you've asked. Can I please?
This little child from a home and a family that knows primarily anger and bitterness. And Klaus wants to give him something beautiful. By the way, his toys are super cool.
So magical. I mean, the design and the animation and everything is great, but what sells it for me is the sound design. It sounds mechanical, but somehow friendly and magical at the same time. Like, great work.
I like that Klaus is having this moment of, in this dark, cold, desolate, miserable place, with the child, he's having this moment of joy.
And warmth, and the light is warm on him.
Yeah. And I like that Jesper is still too self-absorbed to even actually see what's going on. All he sees is that this big, scary person is distracted.
Yep. I gotta escape!
Jesper goes to this cold, desolate place where people are warring and fighting and cruel to each other. And the tone is light and fun and happy, but also kind of creepy and dark. The light shines through, right? And it's just a simple act of kindness. And it's a turning point for Klaus, who we later learn is grieving and mourning the loss of his wife, the loss of children that they never were able to have. And for him, this is the beginning of hope and happiness in his heart again.
Yeah.
I think of the holidays, and it's a happy time for a lot of people. It's a miserable time for a lot of people.
Yes.
It's a lonely time for a lot of people. And this story to me is like a blueprint for, okay, how do we get out of that?
Jesper Johansson, postman. We were never properly... It seems like word got around that the poor children of Smearensburg have started, completely unprompted, writing letters asking you for toys. So I figured you have the whole barn filled with toys just sitting there collecting dust, so... Oh god. Okay, this is it. Here it goes. Oh, wow.
So weird.
That is totally normal. Not a symptom of any mental illness or anything.
Go away.
Mr. Klaus, sir. Mr. Klaus, wait! Please! Think of all the joy you'll bring their miserable little lives. Little Penny, Patty, her doll was so old, it crumbled in her arms when she came to me. And then Kristoff, little ugly Kristoff, with
Something that our fields have in common is the concept of a reframe.
Yeah.
Right? A reframe in therapy is, okay, you have the story or you have your life or you have what's going on, and it is what it is. But how you perceive it is everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can, in storytelling, you can do it for dramatic effect, for comedic effect. You've got Klaus using his axe, ripping the wood apart, using this big hook. It's like right in the center of the frame, the giant hook with the light glinting off of it. So it's really leading into Jesper's perspective.
Yes.
That Klaus is someone scary.
Yep.
And murdery.
Well, and all of the shots are close-ups, and they're spooky, and they're creepy. And then the reframe...
Well, he hands him the noose, and he's like, this is it.
Yeah.
And then the reframe is that he's building bird's nest.
It cuts wide. It
Yeah.
literally reframes the shot to go full wide on both characters, and he's making a bird's nest, and whoop,
Yeah.
and he tosses it.
And to see what's really going on, and that's apropos for therapy, sometimes you have to go wide.
Yes.
When you go too narrow, you're stuck in your own perspective, and you can't see what's actually going on. And I think it's hilarious that it makes more sense to Jesper that Klaus is about to murder him than that Klaus is doing something nice for woodland creatures.
Right.
Because Jesper is such a selfish punk that the idea of doing something kind for another creature just to do it doesn't even enter his mind.
Right.
And once he realizes that, that's when he switches what he's going for. Think of all the joy you'll bring to their miserable little lives. Because Jesper's just trying to meet his quota so he can get out of there.
So he can get back to
Yeah.
his life of donuts and sherry.
At this point, well, actually, it sounds pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
So with the reframe, if you're lonely right now, if you're sad, if you're struggling, the reframe that I would encourage you to look for is, okay, my circumstances are what they are. What can I do to see it differently? What can I do to approach life or people or myself differently so that I can see this as something warm or something tolerable or something even joyous? And Jesper has to do that because, spoiler alert, but towards the end of the film, he doesn't want to leave.
Right.
But at the beginning of the film, this place was an icy hell that he
Oh, yeah.
couldn't wait to get out of.
With a bunch of crazy people who were trying to kill each other all the time.
And the only thing that changed was his perspective and that he started to practice more kindness in his day-to-day life. That's
Right.
it. And it changed everything. Reframe. See the lighting.
Yeah.
Right. I wear them down and you catch them. Good team. Whoa! Whoa!
Toys too heavy. What was it?
Too
Two
heavy
horses?
for the pony.
For the pony, just for the pony. Yeah.
That's right.
Go, reindeer.
It's good teamwork here. We're making good
Reliable,
time.
strong, cooperative.
That's one of the few times I can tell I'm listening to J.K. Simmons.
Reliable, strong, cooperative. If you want to feel even more Christmas spirit, check out the extended director's cut on our Patreon. It is significantly longer, and there's more crying. Talk to me a little bit about, I mean, obviously it's really, really funny, but that switch from like, hey, we're really enjoying this, and then they see each other being open and honest, and they have to revert back to, we're tough, we're men, we're strong.
Now that we're men.
It's these moments of spontaneity that can lead to the greatest shifts that get people out of the boxes they put themselves in. Here, neither of them has really connected with a human being directly for a long time. Even Klaus, who's doing good for these children, he's doing it at a distance.
Right.
In his case, it's because of loss. You love, you lose, you hurt. He doesn't want to hurt again.
Yeah.
But he also wants to feel good again, so he's trying to have the best of both worlds and have connection but at a distance. Do good but at a distance.
Well, Jesper's just too selfish to actually connect with people because
Yes.
he needs to get back to his donuts and sherry.
Well, and Jesper's second story window experience is I can't be happy in Smearensburg.
Oh, yeah.
I can't be happy here. This place is a miserable, rotting, icy shell. And then he just has perhaps one of the only true moments of spontaneous joy he's had in his life, and he had it in Smearensburg. It requires him to reassess his entire worldview, his entire paradigm. And so those spontaneous moments can be powerful for helping us make shifts. I love that they use this music here.
Only good children get toys?
Because he just told off the bullied child that you're not going to get toys if you're naughty.
I shoveled all the yards in my street today. That's good, right? Hi! Please don't put me on the naughty list.
Dear Mr. Klaus, today, me and my brothers helped
And you have
Mom
to start with the
chores.
children because the older ones are too set in their ways. She's gonna throw
We'll do this every day if you bring us some
gonna throw
toys.
mud or whatever on their laundry.
Our neighbor was fixing up the hole in the fence today, and then he fell. And he hurt his leg. It must have really, really hurt because he would not stop screaming. So we helped him. He said he didn't like it, but deep down I think he did. And yesterday, instead of stealing Mrs. Runa's berries, we picked them all up for her. She came to our house later, and she brought Mom lots of berry jam. And then Mom brought her a berry pie.
Dear Mr. Klaus, I've been going to class every day, and I always do my homework.
I always do nice things out of spite. That's the only way I do them.
Hi, Mr. Postman! Miss Alva is the best teacher ever.
Also, I cleaned my dad's old clarinet. I hope I did a good job. He seemed happy. Can I get a toy, please?
So what's interesting is it's not sheer altruism. It's I want to get toys, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the results are the same.
The dead bodies, like people who froze to death or died or whatever.
This movie's so weirdly dark.
It is.
Oh, so great.
It's so hopeful and light and warm, but also so dark and disturbing, and it's such a great mix.
Oh, fantastic. More of this.
But this is, I love this montage,
Hey there, Chief. How are we doing today?
and I love Norm Macdonald. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Come on, guys!
And I like that the sun is shining,
Bright and colorful, and the sun is out now. Yep.
and characters are smiling that we've never seen smile before.
The lesson from this movie, if you can smash a cartoon chicken, smash a cartoon chicken.
But she was doing fish instead of school teaching to save enough money to leave, and now she's replacing that with actually just being there for the kids and finding fulfillment. They used to do like music battles.
Yep.
Who could be loudest, and now they're playing in harmony. Like it's all. But some people aren't having it.
Ooh, foreboding.
Well, you need the conflict in the story, but that's also true to life. When people have prejudices and they've got bigotry, and the people that aren't supposed to get along or respect each other start getting along and respecting each other, it's a threat to everything.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to change. I would rather wreak havoc. So, yeah.
This is unfortunately a thing we see all too often in the real world.
Yeah. Screw you, Westboro Baptist. Screw you.
Wow. I mean, not that I can possibly disagree. Just, interesting to call someone out that specifically.
They don't watch our show. Our show is satanic in their eyes. It's fine.
That's true. We are both demons.
Did you know that arson is down 70%? It's true. When's the last time you saw a house burn down? Precisely. The cookouts, swap meets, and, I don't know. It's like everyone's gone mad or something.
A true, selfless act always sparks another.
Well, look who's suddenly a chatterbox. Tell me, what made you squander all those words into that nugget of wisdom?
Oh, just something someone used to say.
Well, let me tell you something. I've been around long enough to know that everyone is out to get something. Those kids are in it for the toys. And the grown-ups, I don't know what they're after, but it sure is not goodwill and peace on Earth.
What about you? What's in it for you?
Me? Well, it's different. I don't...
He's not willing to come clean yet.
Yeah. We all have different motives. Doing good for selfish motives is still doing good.
The good still gets accomplished.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about this all the time on the show. Intentions only matter so much.
Yeah.
What matters is results.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I would say in relationships, intentions matter when it comes to why are you doing this? Are you doing this out of a self-serving reason or because you actually care about me? But it is true. I can have good intentions and muck things up. Or I could have not the greatest of intentions and cause real change.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
And this happens in therapy. We often motivate people with whatever it is they came in wanting. Like I'll motivate them, I'll use that as motivation, and then along the way they discover the change and growth, right? Especially when people come in saying, change my partner, right? I use that all the time. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm going to work on them with all that stuff that you just listed. That's horrible, by the way, and I absolutely need to help change them.
100%.
But they're going to resist that if it's just them changing. So what can you give them? They'll be like, fine, here's something. And they'll start doing something thinking that, okay, this is just me playing my part so I can get my partner to change. And then along the way, they'll do it, and they'll get warmth and affection from their partner instead of what they usually get. And then it's like, oh, hey, maybe I was part of the problem all along.
Oh, maybe human nature is still human nature.
Yeah, so he's not wrong, but he doesn't have the complete picture.
No.
Right? Speaking of the reframe, we still need to pull back, and he needs to see more of it.
I, leader of the proud Crumb.
Get on with it already.
Shut up, you idiot! I'm getting to it. I,
Joe
leader
Cusack.
of the proud. Oh, forget it. The mood is gone. You know why I'm calling this meeting.
Yeah, I know. Of course I know. Midnight Brawl?
Look around, Axel. Where is your clan?
Huh.
I'll tell you where they are. They're at block parties, hay rides, and cookouts.
Brunches! Don't forget about the
It was
brunches!
a book club that took my poor Sven.
The postman and that old toy maker are brainwashing everyone.
What are you saying?
I'm saying it's time to join forces against a common enemy. I'm saying we need a truce.
A truce? Have you gone mad?
Either we band together to take care of this, or it's gonna be all book clubs and cookouts
And
from
brunches! Don't forget about the
Yes,
brunches!
that too.
So we must join together in peace to help stop this peace?
Our ancestors demand it.
For the Ellingbow bloodline!
For the Crumb's honor. The clans are on the war path. Together!
Conditioning. There are a bunch of studios that are doing things like this. The Spider-Verse films have hand-drawn feeling stuff. DreamWorks is doing this a bunch. The Bad Guys did a bunch of this.
Yes.
Where it feels very hand-animated, but it's still CG. I just love the explosion of creativity that we're seeing in the animation industry. And it's just more. I love it so much.
It is very, very cool.
So you talked about hate and how that's bred. This is an interesting scenario where the only thing that they hate more than each other is they hate not having hate.
Yeah.
Is there a real world parallel to this?
The closest thing I can think of is that we all need to have something to hold on to, something that our whole life is going to be about.
People need a mission, right?
Yeah, and so if you've made it that your entire life, and then people are trying to replace it with love. And I know people like this, the family feud thing is very apropos, but usually instead of against another family, it's members of your own family. I was hurt by this person that I care about, and we hold these grudges for years or for decades, and we even pass them on to our children.
Your uncle was such a terrible person to
Now,
me.
listen,
Don't ever talk to him. Yeah.
I'm not talking about if you have a family member that was abusive,
Sure,
and is a continued threat, or they may not be a continued threat, but you don't feel safe around them. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about human slights, differences, harsh words, hurt feelings, things that we can move past if we will just give ourselves the chance to.
Yeah.
Make amends if we can, and if we can't, to let go of it inside of ourselves. We hold on to that bitterness because it's fuel. We hold on to that bitterness because it gives us purpose, and we feel superior.
Sure, yeah.
Right? I feel superior to the person that I hate. And how am I going to feel good about myself if I don't have that superiority? And the answer, of course, is to replace it with giving love, giving belonging and understanding. I think that's the way you look at yourself in the mirror and like yourself, is to live that way. They are in this place where if we don't have this clan war, who are we?
What even are we? Yeah.
And a lot of times we'd rather hold on to something that we know is unhealthy than to do the work of facing the unknown and creating something new.
Yeah. Something that you know is always going to be less scary than something that you don't know, even if it's something terrible.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
After she was gone, I guess I got lost. She loved birds, so I just kept
The performance in the eyes.
birdhouses.
So strong in this scene.
But then you showed up, delivering these toys, seeing the joy they bring to children. I thought I'd never feel this again. And I have you to thank for it, my friend. So, thank you.
It's a life.
We got you, but not me?
A little bit.
Hey!
How are you not? Is it just because you're out? Are you out of juice?
It's full disclosure. This is the 6th episode we've shot today, and I've just run out of tears. My ducts are on strike.
I'm coming in fresh off the bench when it comes to crying, though. It is a truism of life that our suffering is alleviated by bringing joy to other people.
Yes.
And when we can't bring joy, at least bringing compassion and empathy and belonging and companionship.
And acceptance.
And acceptance. And those are things that we can bring, right? And that is, honestly, to me, that's the cure for the holiday blues. Is there may be people in your life who reject you, don't invite you, don't want you around. There are people in your circle that you can reach out to, that you can touch, that you can serve, that you can just be there for, that you can just enjoy. And maybe you can't. Maybe I'm saying all this and you're like, I can't think of a single person. I bet if you go back far enough, you can think of somebody to send an email to, or a text, or a call, or somebody that in your neighborhood who's struggling. And if you can't even do any of that, most of us have in our cities and in our towns opportunities to serve and opportunities to help. You just got to look for them. And honestly, no matter what you're going through, like Klaus, no matter how much you're suffering, you find that peace by doing that work. And that is all the saccharine, cheesy, the meaning of Christmas, whatever, but that is it.
That's the meaning of Christmas.
Yeah. That's how we do it. And Jesper learns that. And just like Kuzco, he comes around. This is basically a covert sequel to Emperor's New Groove, too.
You could make a double feature out of those two movies. And
Yeah.
it would be pretty freaking good.
Boom, baby! But thank you for this choice.
Thank you for this choice. This was recommended by hundreds and hundreds of people in the comments. If there are any other diamonds in the rough like this, and the rough, I guess, is Netflix. Anything else we're missing, please leave us a comment below. We want to talk about great movies like this, and we don't know what all of them are, so please let us know what we should talk about. So until next time. Ho, ho, ho. Whoa, wait. Time out. That's really how you laugh?
And
watch movies.
And happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, and all the other ones, too.
Festivus for the rest of us. We want to thank our patrons for supporting this channel, folks like
Emily Powers,
Amy Taylor,
Jacob
Curley,
and Amy Jo Klassen.
We love you and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.